I'm feeling like shenanigans today, so that's why we have this deck. We have an Esper Affinity deck. It's all artifacts for the most part. We're going to be playing this in Historic. Standard is just a few days left in the season, and it's pretty brutal out there, so I thought maybe I would just go back to Historic for a second, throw down with some Wait and Jangle combo, Waffle Stomp. And here we are. So we have Esper Affinity, and what's really cool about this deck is that there's no rares, there's no mythics, so it's very, very likely that you'll be able to put this together. I'm not saying it's gonna carry you through Diamond. It won't do that necessarily. It can squeak out some wins for sure, like maybe 3 or 4 in a row here and there if you're lucky. But for the most part, this is for climbing below that, I would say. But the fact that it's no rares, no mythics, makes it easy to get into this deck. What we're dealing with here are some very interesting artifact creatures for the most part that you want to get onto the board as fast as possible and put as many artifacts on the board as fast as possible so that you can take over the board. And we have an Ornithopter here, 0 cost, doesn't really even matter if you've got tap lands or not. So that's going to be nice, but you can buff that with several buffs that we have in Ensoul Artifact, which is really, really good. We have the Reign of Truth, we have all That Glitters, and then a few others that actually self-buff, like the Smith here. And we even have our lands. Some of them are artifacts, so when those come out, they trigger Ingenious Smith or the Patchwork Automation, which is something that is just an extra perk to the land. Now, the plains and the islands, or they could be easily subbed for better land if you have them, but I don't necessarily have. That's the hard part about building decks, is just having the land base. But that being said, it's not typically an issue. The only time I see it being an issue is sometimes you're looking for blue because of Ensoul Artifact, and sometimes you're looking for white for all That Glitters, and when you don't have it, it sucks. For the most part, you will have it due to some of the dual lands we've got here. But that being said, there's no like crazy, super crazy combo other than just remembering for Gingerbrute. If you're going to be attacking, usually leaving 1 mana up is a great idea, because sometimes you run into flash, sometimes, just make sure that they don't have anybody with haste and you're good. Gingerbrute is usually the one getting through. My favorite though is the Vault Scourge. Turn 1 you can get him on the board, and flying lifelink is just absolutely amazing. And once you get him on the bird, once he's birding it up on the Phyrexian landscape, you can put an Ensoul Artifact on him, and then he just becomes a 5/5 lifelink flyer that on turn 2, which is quite ridiculous. If you ask me, that's ridiculous, but it's a lot of fun. And so that being said, this is hopefully something you can put together, and I have a lot of fun playing this here and there. It's just something that I enjoy. So let's see how this deck does. Yep. We have creatures, so let's roll with it. However, I really hope we draw plains, or any land at all. Actually, would be nice. Carlos the Dwarf. Gotta watch out for that guy. Gingerbrute times 2. Should be enough, right? Uh-oh. Gruul goblins. Oh boy. Okay, we got lucky. We drew our land. Really, 2 land is about all you need for this deck, for sure. I mean, it's nice to be able to cast 2 spells a turn, but for the most part, it operates on 2 pretty nice. at least for the first 4 turns. I'm about to put my words where my mouth is, which, yeah, putting my glass casket on the basket. Talking about not needing land. I do need to get rid of that guy. See? Clear the way. I mean, it's not a lot of damage, but you know what? It's damage, and so far so good. But they always have another, don't they? Especially with goblins. Alright, okay, they're down to 2 cards at least. No haste. That's nice for once. Alright, Ingenious would fish another card for us, but we're not really lacking on cards at all. We've got about all the enchantments or buffs that we could need. I do wish all that glitters gave an indication of how many artifacts are on the board, but this one's always consistent. It doesn't rely on artifact count. Just takes something like a 1/1, turns it into a 5/5. Now it's not protected with the proc on the block, but I doubt they're going to be doing any shenanigans here. Alright, well, I still get to draw. Oh, Painland. I'll take it. They have another one. Goblin Matron is a really good card. If you see that, it's not good. I am interested in what they'll... I mean, Krinko is always there. Realm Walker. Okay. I guess they think I can't slip underneath or go over the top. Yep. Not so bad. Could have been worse. Third land, not relevant this turn, but that's okay. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1111. Yeah, just checking for haste. We are dealing with goblins here. Yeah, this is a fully protected swing. Which, when you're throwing cookies at people, you want it to be, you know, a safe environment. Alright, down to 2. They could kick back, swing back for, I'm hoping, you know, there isn't some crazy buff the board. Okay. There it is, right there. Nice. Sign me up. I like gingerbread. You know, it's been a while since I've had a good gingerbread. Banana bread, I've had a lot of that lately. But can you make your banana bread glitter? No. You can make your Gingerbrute glitter. Alright, So if I had to guess, I would say they're going to play a bunch of skeletons. Just taking a wild guess. I know I tend to do that. Tiny bones. You know, I feel like I don't see Tiny Bones ever get through. I feel like he needs a little help. He is a good threat, though. You pretty much always want to go for him. Well, I can guarantee the damage. I mean, them blocking is fine, but we're not really interested in that. We want guaranteed damage. Otherwise, this doesn't work very well. Later on, if the game stalls and you have to, you know, throw out a random 1/1 creature and hope that you can buff it while they have a wall of big creatures or combos that they're going through, it's not going to be as easy. But if we apply the pressure now, ASAP, it's just, and guarantee it, that's the way to go. That's what this deck is supposed to do. Yeah, I can't. It's the one thing about the Smith is it's not an artifact. It benefits from artifacts coming in, but it is not an artifact itself. So yeah, that right there doesn't work. Okay, even in Historic, I'm dealing with this stupid bat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would put it in my deck too. I feel like I'm playing Standard all of a sudden. I mean, I've seen this so far, the same skeleton deck in Standard. Pretty sure. Maybe they're just doing dailies or something with a Standard deck. I don't know. Maybe they added some things. We'll see. Well, I feel like it makes sense to get our card back, even though it's not going to help. They don't double up. They don't, I guess you could say there's diminishing returns when it comes to that. But them not having a flyer it's good. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking if there's any benefit. I mean, it does add another artifact. It would proc the Smith, but it just doesn't seem like a good idea. Doesn't seem worth it. I mean, it would take her to 3/3. And we're pretty low ourselves. But having her set for a block is probably the better idea. I mean, they did have to use their turn for removal, but I mean, if they can't remove the Gingerbrute, really don't. Yeah. If you can't remove the Gingerbrute, it's all over. All right. That'll do it. Gingerbrute. Wow, we have a lot of creatures. Well, now we get to see some Vault Scourge. Followed by Ornithopter on turn 1. That's a turn 1 right there. That's what we want to see. That's what I came here for. We're going to make it really glittery as well. I should probably put it on the Ornithopter. I don't know, it's always tough. Ornithopter is literally useless until we buff it. I mean, it can block, but it does count as an artifact. So I guess it's not entirely useless. It's nice having it out there, especially for free. It's just, most of the time, it ends up sitting because there's usually another creature out that's going to be better to buff than the Ornithopter. Gingerbrute or Vault Scourge take priority over Ornithopter, usually. Oh boy, it's looking pretty good for us right now. I mean, down to 9, we're up to 27. They're trying to ramp. Kiora.
I defy God.
Behemoth Beckoner.
Let's get moving.
Are you going to be beckoning behemoths? That is not a behemoth. Look, alright, we procced, or not proc, but all the glitter benefited from the Darkstill Citadel. And we've got Giggling Gingerbrutes and 8/8 Vault Scourges. So, that's pretty good. Let's see what they got. They got a block. And that's how you do it. Nice. On to the next. And this name is really throwing me off. Jahernot. Jahernot. Well, player tap land so that we can fetch. Don't really know what we're up against, so I'll grab my favorite creature in the deck. I mean, Gingerbrute is consistent, but lifelink. It's hard to compete. Ooh. Stern Scolding. I feel like I didn't learn my lesson, but if you feel like giving me a stern scolding, you just go right on ahead. Alright. Well, definitely dealing with some control here, so this might be tough. See if they can remove this. I bet they can. Yep. March of Otherworldly Light. You hate to see it. Alright, so this is what can happen. If they do have the removal. Oof. That was a whiff. But if they have the removal, I mean, we can. That's why Ingenious Smith is in the deck, so that we can fetch, try to get more. You know, whether it's if we need creatures, if we need buffs. What? Exile all artifact? I'm being targeted here. This is an anti-me deck right now. Are you serious? Okay. I really do feel called out here. Oh man, okay. Well, Well, now the Vault Scourge is not looking so great. I'm doing damage to myself. While they think. I can't believe that. I mean, I guess I'm just going to throw everything I can out at him. I'm going to be on a clock for sure. Until the next board wipe. Well, they clearly have something. Okay, take control. Is it forever? Yeah, it is. Okay. We're gonna have to portable hole that. Can't have them having a win condition. Because so far I don't know what their win condition is. Other than not letting me have any fun at all. Please don't counter this. Although that would be funny. Countering a spell to target my own spell that you stole. Man. Hiya! They do have flash. I thought maybe that was a possibility. Oh yeah, I wonder what card they're gonna pick. Any of the cards that they've cast so far would be just good for them. Just peachy. What the Ornithopter? It did nothing. It did nothing to deserve that. Harmless. It's just flying around in the air. New Jersey drone. Just... no one knows. It's just a thing. Don't worry about it. Jeez. Okay, Snappy. What is the... hold up. We're not dealing with ninjutsu. Are we? Yeah. They had something to think about. I have no idea what. I'm sure it's going to be a counter. Can't counter my land, can you? Can't even kill my land if you wanted. I know playing control definitely you do have to think. It's more calculation, but sometimes I feel like they just do this on purpose. Test your patience. You know, make me think they've got something actually useful. But so far, everything they've played against me has been extremely useful for them. I also wonder if you're playing on desktop, do you ever play against somebody on mobile? Because I feel like you can tell when someone's playing on mobile. It's like everything is just so slow. You know, as you would expect in a touchscreen interface or whatever, but usually you can tell it's like every single action is delayed. Oh, okay. Well, farewell. Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna hold out and I'm gonna see. I mean, they don't have card draw necessarily. Not that I've seen yet. Neither do we. Except for the Ingenious Smith, I guess. Technically, it's a way to fish. Fetch. Oh, I had not seen Shark Typhoon in a while. I do love that card. Every time I see it, I think of a lot of things. Memory Deluge. Okay. It's not gonna stop the bleeding, but it'll okay. I'll just buff my automation even more. This is not looking good. The only thing I can think, or any way out of this, would be not an Ornithopter necessarily. Well, now I see what their win condition is, which is definitely a good one. Yeah, they would play the Deluge if I attack with the automation. It's a sad story. Oh. What do you do, land? I don't think it'll go over the top, or it'll match the toughness, but it won't survive. I'm just stalling. Yeah, I'm still bitter about the board wipe. Well, now they have 5 cards to my none. Yeah, you have to. Oh. Now they're just being mean. You never know. You gotta check for bugs, right? Make sure, hold the developers accountable. That would have been funny. It's like, yeah, if you flip Phyrexian 6 times up and 6 times down, it lets you cast it for free. Well, that'll do it. You're roping. You have every right to, but ay. Teferi, Sharks, that's all over. Alright, we got a good mix of everything. Land, creature, removal, buff. Definitely a good keep. More removal. Go skitter, little Vault Scourge, skitter about. I can't help myself, I mean, I'm gonna have to play it. play the Ensoul. Ooh. That's okay. We came prepared. Assemble the team. Oh man. I really wish alchemy was never put into existence. Alright. We're back. We're back to having a board state. It's not a 5/5 lifelinker, but all it takes is one good draw. All that glitters would be nice. Another Ensoul. Hey yo. Okay, down to 6. One turn clock. Are they going to wipe the board? Are they going to prismatic bridge for nothing? Alright. I mean, we do have options. We've got no removal. Maybe we'll get a good pull from the Smith. There's our Gingerbrute. Yeah, putting this out, it's going to be harder for them to remove on turn 3. No, thank you. Okay. Removal. Okay, down to 19. It that heralds the end. So much evil. How many more Mind Stones do you need, man? All of them. Usually that's how it goes. If you see one, you're going to see another very soon. Not only is it removal, it adds to our artifact count. So awesome. Now it's down to 1 turn again. 1 turn clock. Oh, I thought that was a board wipe for a second. Nice.